Platform 17 for the 1832 South Central service to Brighton, fast to East Croydon, then Red Hill, Gatwick Airport, Three Bridges, Aldcombe, Hayward Heath, Whipplesfield, Burgess Hill, Essex, Preston Park and Brighton. Customers for London Road, Allscombe, Falmer and Lewis, also Hove and stations to Worthing should change at right.
Likes up, folks. Let's get those likes up. Come on.
Platform 17 for the 1832 South Central service to Brighton, fast to East Croydon, then Red Hill, Gatwick Airport, Three Bridges.
Can't get me. Democratic National Convention. Listen, guys, the writing's on the wall. I know. Joseph Robinette Biden, God rest his soul, will no longer be the presidential nominee in the coming days. Folks, I'm a busy man. I don't have the time. I don't have the time, guys. Stop hitting me up. Stop calling me. Slightly, can you run for president? Slightly, we know it's last minute. Can you run for president? Guys, I'm too busy, man. I'm too busy, guys. I'm watching Quentin Grimes film, okay? I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't go into a negotiation with China. I gotta watch Quentin Grimes film, guys. I just don't have the time. I don't have the time. And yes, you'd have to do a constitutional amendment because I'm not even close to 35 years old, which is the age limit. Of course, you're not 35 years old when you're running for American president. You have to be 80 plus to run for president of the United States. That's the new rule. Of course, I'm nowhere close to that. Nowhere close to 35 as well. So you'd have to break some rules. Just don't have time, guys. Sorry. Many people have asked me. That's why I address it. Many people have approached me on the subject. Many people. Off topic, but is Kamal going to be the president candidate if Biden falls through? Yeah. Yes. Somebody said I should play BG3. What is that? Oh, that's Flores who said that. What is that? What's BG3? Battleground 3? Oh, Baldur's Gate 3. Okay. Been playing NCAA. Gavin Newsom is who they want? No, it's going to be Kamala pretty comfortably, I would say. Like, and they might win. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was for sure over, but it might not be Jover. It might not be Jover. Who's going to be the vice president? They've called me. I'm just too busy. I'm just too busy, man. Hey, Cuban just sold a team. All right, I'm a little bit nervous about this. I'm flying tomorrow morning, early. Of course, there was a huge... Of course, there was a huge internet outage. I mean, I don't know what it was. Something happened with the servers. My internet was down all day yesterday. Was that related? I was gonna drop a Clay video. Do you get nervous about flying? No, I don't. I honestly used to, but then I don't know, something clicked. Something clicked and I don't care about flying anymore. I don't like it. I hate the process. I more hate the process of getting at the airport or getting to the airport, checking in, doing all of that. Tyler with the $4.99. Not slightly. We need a full Fanspo trade. Oh, God. Of Mavs and the Julius Randle smoke. It's going down. Have a great day. What? Julius Randle smoke. I've had people text me about this. Is there real? What's going on back here? Guys, I'm considering a run for president of the United States. I got to have everything on the up and up back here. We can't have any slip-ups. Bleach Report mock trade. Okay. I don't want Julius Randle. I think his fit would be fucking horrible. I can't imagine a worse fit. Just terrible. I would not do it. Okay, this is where the Julius Randle versus PJ Washington stuff came from, huh? Okay. No, I wouldn't do it. I was wondering what caused that to happen. Obviously, Julius Randle's a better basketball player than PJ Washington. With that being said, what is Julius Randle's fit on the Mavericks besides bad? It's just a weird fit. All right, so hopefully the airport's not fucked tomorrow. PBR, yeah. I got a tall boy Diet Coke. You ever see some shit like this? You ever see something like that? All right, where do we want to start? So I found it a little bit interesting. The ESPN bet dropped their over-unders, early over-unders. I do want to look at that. Do we start there, or do we just look at the 25, the final 25 of the top 100 athlete list that ESPN was rocking with? We talked about it last stream. All right, should we go there? I mean, okay, so last stream, it's hard for me to contextualize. This is just an impossible list. We're not going over 100 through 25 because we already did that. This is an impossible task, right? Ranking athletes across sports. You're going to piss somebody off. Obviously, well, here we go. 67 athletes from North America. Obviously, ESPN is an American company. They cater to an American audience. So just naturally, there's going to be more American athletes on here in American sports. I believe there's like 8 basketball players in the top 25, which... Yeah, I assumed that Kevin Garnett was not going to be on this list because we did not see him in 100 through 75 or 100 through 25, and I just assumed that there's no way he'd be top 25. But I was wrong. So they start the 25 with Floyd Mayweather. Did we see Floyd Mayweather? Not a fighting guy, but many fighting people, boxing people think he might be the best boxer of all time. So, all right, there you go. Yes, I've already looked at this. So some people believe that he is the best boxer of all time. He's here at number 25, all right? Arguably one of the greatest hitters in the history of baseball is here at 24, completely and totally dominated the sport over the 2 decades that he played. 703 home runs, 4th all time. And then here's Kevin Garnett. Under no circumstances is Kevin Garnett a top 23 athlete of the last 24 years. Under 0 circumstances. I don't even know if I would say North American athlete. Then you factor in global athletics, all sports. What could possibly be the argument here? What could possibly be the argument for Kevin Garnett to be 23rd ahead of Albert Pujols, who is, no question about it, better at his sport than Kevin Garnett was? Floyd Mayweather, no question about it. No question about it. You a buster for not reading that other super chat to its entirety. Now I know Luca blocked you. What was the end of the super chat? God bless Trump. Guys, did you not hear me at the start? I'm considering a presidential run. Why would I want to hype up the competition? Come on, guys. Use your brain. Use your brain. Whatever's left of it, all right? Peyton Manning, who is the all-time touchdown leader, 5-time MVP, which is the most of all time in the NFL. What is the argument for Kevin Garnett over that? What is the argument there? Sidney Crosby, not a hockey guy. Taurasi, arguably the greatest WNBA player of all time. Aaron Donald feels stupidly fucking high. 20 for Aaron Donald just feels absurd to me. Lewis Hamilton, I know nothing about. I know nothing at all about racing. Patrick Mahomes at 18 feels low. I gotta be real. I gotta be honest. It feels low. I feel like we should have been pushing top 10, maybe. Aaron Donald's arguably the best defender of all time. All right, all right. Shaq at 17. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I actually stopped reading this list at the Kevin Garnett. I actually don't know. Tim Duncan at 16. Lots of NBA athletes. Katie Ledecky, swimmer, right? Steph Curry ahead of Shaq and Tim Duncan. How do we feel about that one? How do we feel about that one? Retno with the $9.99. All right, Retno. I see you, big spender. I see you, big. Oh, Retno with $4.99. All right, big spender. Slightly biased for president. Save my country. I'm gonna try. Steph Curry. All right. I did know this. Cristiano Ronaldo at 13. My football fans were not happy about this one. Did KG help evolve the game? I do think so. I'm not trying to say Kevin Garnett didn't have a great career. I tweeted it out. It left my circle. There was people very upset by it. Now, I will say this. In my tweet, it was unfortunate. Like, if you didn't know me at all, I could see how it came across, to be honest with you. Because I did say, I did take exception to the fact that Kevin Garnett was 23rd on this list. And it just so happens that the 4 people that I mentioned in here were all white. I get how that comes across if you don't know me or where I'm coming from. Okay, I get it. I understood it. I saw people tweeting it. Okay. I honestly could understand how it comes across. Obviously, I only did it because Peyton Manning was directly behind him, as was Mike Trout. And then I did Jokic because what is the argument for KG over Jokic? Longevity? I don't think that's a good enough argument for me. And then I also did Dirk. Of course I did Dirk because, Mavericks. I'm a Mavericks guy. Dirk's my favorite athlete of all time. But if you don't know me, you don't know that. So you just see me saying, why is Kevin Garnett over these 4 white guys? I get how that comes across. My bad. That is an NBA circle jerk level post for sure. For sure. My bad. Something random with the $9.99. You wanted to decide on a Premier League team. I'm here to sell you on Tottenham. Most beautiful team to follow. Also, I'm a season ticket holder. We have a few of them. I can get you tickets if you're ever in London. Ooh. See, I'm leaning Tottenham. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what it is. I'm leaning Tottenham. That might have done it for me. When does the Premier League start? I need to make a decision soon. Partha with the $4.99. Under a slightly biased presidency, calling foul and calling an and one and pickup will be the same. I do agree. I agree. I don't like that rule. And you know what's funny about it? If you yell and one, I haven't. The last few times I've played, people have yelled and one, and they don't give you the point. Slightly for context, ESPN has had an anti-Ronaldo agenda throughout his entire career. And what's the reasoning for that? $13 does feel low. Rafael Nadal, okay. 22-time Grand Slam singles champion. Holy shit. He did some unsavory things here in the U.S. I can't speak on that. Novak Djokovic, 24-time Grand Slam singles champ. How many Grand Slams are there? No, this is not a Coors. This is a tall boy Diet Coke, guys. Oh, there's 4 a year. Okay, I was about to say, good God. Something's not adding up here. Okay. Kobe at 10. Now, there's outrage on both sides, I saw. Kobe stands saying that he should be higher than 10. Other people saying that Kobe does not belong anywhere near the top 10. Of course, you have the believers that Tim Duncan was better all time than Kobe. There's definitely an argument for that. There's an argument that Shaq is better than Kobe. But come on, it's Kobe. Where would I put Tatum? I'd put Tatum between 1,276th and 1,344, something along those lines, somewhere in between there. It's Kobe, man. Come on. Kobe's the most underrated player in the history of all sports. Kobe won more than both in the 2000s, and that is true. But also at the same time, it's fucking Kobe Bryant. Like, there's a lasting impact that Kobe has. Usain Bolt at 9. Okay. Usain Bolt. The thing, I think there's a rule of thumb. If you're an Olympic athlete and you're in a sport that traditionally outside of the Olympics nobody talks about much, and you become a household name, then you are absolutely dominant. Usain Bolt, obviously. Tiger at 8. So we talked about this. What was it? Only 4 of his majors were in the 90s. So this feels low for Tiger. I'm just going to be honest with you. Once we established that most of his wins were in the 2000s, then I thought Tiger would for sure be in the top 5. Simone Biles, again, like I was saying with Usain Bolt, household name, one of the greatest gymnasts of all time. So 4 Olympic gold medals in 2016. I think Simone Biles deserves to be. You think this is too low? Roger Federer. Okay. A lot of tennis guys. So let me say this. Let me ask this. And maybe this is me being. Not maybe. This is definitely me being a little ignorant to tennis, because I don't know. So in my mind, if you're going to be in the top 10 athletes, there's enough sports that there really should only be one per sport, and you had to dominate your sport. Could there be 3 men's tennis players this close to one another? Haven't they played each other a bunch? And maybe I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Tom Brady at 5. Tom Brady in a Bucks jersey. LeBron at 4. I thought LeBron would be 1. That's where I settled. Messi at 3. So this caused an outrage. This caused an outrage because once the football community got hold of this, they were not happy. Serena Williams, number 2. Something random. Again, with the 499. When you talk about greatest of all time, impact matters. Maybe Duncan was a better player, but Kobe, bigger athlete. When I grew up, Kobe was the guy. Yeah, that definitely comes into play when people are ranking players and stuff. In a list like this, for sure. For sure, it's going to come into play. So again, I'm not super in on tennis. I know Serena Williams absolutely dominated, so I don't have much of a problem with this. The only problem I had, 3 male tennis players in the top 10 or top 12 or whatever it was. That feels excessive to me. It just does. It feels excessive. And Michael Phelps, number 1, which I saw somebody really map out how dominant Michael Phelps was, and I think this is okay. Obviously, it's very American-centric that a United States swimmer is put number 1. But yes, he's the greatest Olympian of all time, just in terms of winning. So I think that it's pretty valid, I guess. Djokovic is the GOAT tennis player, and I saw people say that. So it does make me question why Federer is so high. You need God tier endurance in swimming? Yeah. Serena Williams above LeBron is insanity. I mean, everybody here in the top 5, very influential in their sport. I mean, to say Serena Williams wasn't or isn't, is she still playing? No, she's not. Okay. To say that she's not incredibly influential in tennis And in women's tennis is just asinine. B-Dot, 20 months. These lists are always rage bait, but I know you know that. Oh, of course. I mean, they're fun. It's fun to talk about. That's what we're doing. Like, it's not ending my life. They combined for like 95% of Grand Slams in the era. Absolutely insane. I don't mind. I think we said I thought Serena would be top 5. Messi not being number 1, I think, is a little surprising. I feel like nobody would have opposed that. You know what I mean? Serena should be 1. 2 is pretty crazy. And Phelps, the best Olympian of all time. When I sounded out, none of these are too egregious to me. Now, I don't know enough about tennis. I do think this many male tennis players in the top 12, 3 is just crazy to me. Personally, I think that's insane. You don't have Cristiano Ronaldo in the top 12 because you have 3 male tennis players. Shaun White was on this list. Sports that people watch all time year round have to be higher. Phelps shouldn't be that high considering people only watch swimming every 4 years. Yeah, but it goes back to what I was saying. If you're an Olympian and your sport is a sport that people don't really pay attention to outside of the Olympics, and you are that big of a household name, you're clearly so dominant in your field. Hold on, last stream you claimed Phelps shouldn't be in the top 15. Did I say that? No way I said that. I think I said that about Lewis Hamilton, but honestly, I'm not. Aaron Donald top 20 feels crazy to me. You clearly do not know enough about tennis. No, I don't. But am I wrong, though? I mean, three male tennis players in the top 12. And Ronaldo's not in the top 12. Even Steph. Like, Steph had such a big imprint on basketball over the last 20 years. I know Aaron Donald's the greatest of all time defender, but he's a defensive tackle. Like, it's just kind of weird. It's hard to contextualize all of this. He's a defensive tackle, and everybody else ahead of him is like either in sports where singular dominance, like basketball, is so important, or a quarterback, or just straight up singular sports. It's hard. It's hard to compare him. Retno with the 199. Retno's letting it fly today, huh? What is your honest-to-God GOAT athlete? No bias. I mean, my favorite athlete ever is Dirk, obviously. In my mind, the greatest of all-time athlete that I've watched is LeBron. You have to understand how much I love basketball and just growing up in the LeBron era. I mean, it's really not that hard to put 2 and 2 together, really. Hunter with the 199. Dwight Powell not cracking top 25 is insane to me. Yeah, it's Canadian. I mean, how many Canadians do you see on this list, huh? Go ahead and stop me when you see a Canadian. Look, 4 Canadian athletes in this whole list. Sidney Crosby. Who's the other one? Some other hockey player, surely. Who is the other Canadian? Now I'm interested. Oh, Steve Nash. It was Steve Nash. Steve Nash and Sidney Crosby. Bro had to put a disclaimer for the MJ fans. Well, once it boils down to that, you know you're not changing anyone's mind. You're not going to sit there and be like, well, LeBron did X, Y, and Z, and then a Jordan guy's going to be like, oh, shit, you know what? You're right, dude. I didn't even think about that. LeBron's the GOAT. Like, that's never going to happen. Having those 3 tennis players top 10 is less egregious than having Garnett top 25. I do think KG's placement at 23 is the most egregious thing on this list. Full stop. And I know I'm coming across as a hater. Kevin Garnett had an incredible career. He absolutely deserved. I was surprised. The reason I was so surprised when I didn't see him, I did not think he'd be in the top 25, and I was like, wow, Kevin Garnett, I thought most certainly deserved to be on a list like this. But like, he's ahead of Peyton Manning. He's ahead of Floyd Mayweather, who's arguably the best boxer of all time, and Peyton Manning. What could possibly be? You can't explain that and have it make sense. You just can't. It just doesn't make any sense. Ronaldo at 13 is worse. I will say, I mean, this is a crazy thing to do for a list. Impossible. You're gonna piss. There's no way you could do the list and not piss people off. Someone's gonna be pissed off. So, anyways, shout out to ESPN. They did their job. People talked about it. It was kind of a hot topic on Twitter yesterday. I believe they talked about it on. This is the ESPN thing that they do, where they create something themselves. They make it a little bit. Controversial. And then they talk about it on their shows. I mean, it's genius. No, number one was Michael Phelps. It's genius because you're in the dog days of sports, really. You're in the dog days of sports. Oh, look, and they have there's a DLC to this article. Who will make the 2050 top athletes list? There is a DLC to this article, folks. Well, Luka's got to be on here. Whoever made this loves tennis. Loves tennis. So far, these three are outside of my wheelhouse. Like, gonna be the best ever? Alcaraz? I feel like I actually know. I feel like I've heard his name. Caitlin Clark. Of course, set the a single game assist record against the Dallas Wings. Kuso at the 2 with no injury. Bo Jackson could have been top 5. Well, this list is in the 2000s, but yes. I mean, if you're just going pound for pound, best athletes ever, Bo Jackson is high. Y'all sleep on tennis? I don't sleep on tennis. I like tennis. In college, I covered the women's tennis team just because somebody had to do it, and I stepped up to the plate and did it. I don't follow it. I don't follow it. Luka, there he is. I was actually getting concerned that he wasn't going to be on this. All right, they're giving our boy some love. They're giving our boy some love. Love it. Indrik is a very hot take. Why is that? I want you guys to put me on. Why is that? Wait, where's Indrik? Did I miss them? Okay. Why is Indrik a hot take? He doesn't have a spot right now in Madrid. Is that Spain guy going to be on here? Lamar Jackson, huh? Justin Jefferson, Nelly Corda, Vicky Lopez, Noah Lyles, he's a dog. Cale Makar, Sean O'Malley, Angel Reese. Come on now. No. Hesley Rivera, Scotty Scheffler, Paul Skeens, Juan Soto, Wemby. Oh, this is the guy I was talking about. No, I love Lamar. I'm okay with Lamar being there. This is the guy for Spain, right? Who's 16 years old. Fucking insane. What? Yeah, Lamar in the playoffs is kind of crazy. So 2 NBA guys on here, Victor Wembanyama and Luka. I feel like that's actually fair. I don't think there's other young guys who are like in a position to fully, and I mean fully, dominate their sport in the manner in which you would have to do to be on a list like this. Cooper Flagg could definitely be on there, but of course he hasn't even played at college. Angel Reese would be the all-time GOAT for self-created double-doubles off terrible misses. I mean, she's huge. She's a great rebounder, very physical, but The touch around the rim is so bad. I don't know if she'll be this level, but maybe. I mean, she's been good. I don't want to trash her. I mean, Juan Soto's still only like 25 years old, and he is insane. Paul Skeens, and here's the reason why Paul Skeens will not be on this list. And here's the sad reality, and I think why baseball is just. He's gonna have 6 or 7 elbow surgeries throughout his career. That's it. I mean, that's just the reality. He'll have 6 or 7 elbow surgeries. Simone Biles was like 8th or something like that. And no. I mean, I admittedly don't know a lot of these other sports players, but I'm assuming they're like genuinely kind of dominating their sports already at a young age. How old is Sean O'Malley? I feel like he's been around for so long now. Bobby Witt. Is Juan Soto and Paul Skeens are the only baseball players? Where's Dak? I feel like they only wanted 2 per sport, it looked like. Yeah, the Angel Reese inclusion, I don't know if I agree with. But Sugar's 29. Can't you like be old in the UFC though? Like, aren't some of those dudes pushing 40? Ronald Acuna's hurt too much though. Basketball's tough because it's so hard to win championships. They'll get underrated in lists like these. I actually think only 2 NBA guys on here is right. The more I think about it, there's no other young guys besides Luka and Wemby, where it's like those 2 will be at the forefront of the sport for the next 10 years. I don't know if Ant hasn't really shown us that yet. Tatum. SGA is older than Luka. Jokic was on the top 100 list. SGA doesn't have the like he doesn't. I love SGA, you guys know that. He doesn't have that superstar punch that even like Derek White. Yeah, he's just a little boring. Which is kind of, I actually think his game is so pleasing to watch. I know he's a foul baiter. I know that. But, okay, before we get into this, we actually did have a trade earlier today, which I think is kind of an interesting one. Zaire Williams, top 10th overall pick in the 2021 draft, traded in a salary dump move to the Brooklyn Nets. It's my turn now. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first on the Slightly Biased News Network. The Memphis Grizzlies are trading for Zaire Williams in a 2030 second-round pick via Dallas to the Brooklyn Nets for Mamadi Diakite. Fuck, I looked up how to pronounce that guy's name last year. Sources tell ESPN / Slightly Biased News Network, then ESPN. Williams was the 10th pick of the 2021 NBA draft. Grizzlies did fumble picking this guy, which is kind of a shame because he really wasn't terrible his rookie year. He really was not bad his rookie year. Showed some flashes. Looked like a rookie. But, like, played big minutes for them in the playoffs. And then just kind of... I mean, that was the worst. It's just fallen off of a cliff since then. Obviously, was in, like, a bad situation last year, I think. Hard for a player like him to really succeed. But 3 years in the league hasn't really shown you much. Of course, there was that hilarious... God, I wish I could find it. It's got to be on Twitter somewhere. It's probably in response to this somewhere. Of that Grizzlies fan winning a signed Zaire Williams basketball or something during a timeout break at the stadium, and he's just sitting there like this. uh, Classic. Tyler with the $4.99. Skeens is crazy. Air Force pilot, go to LSU, win natty. First pick, captured Livy Doon. MLB All-Star starter, 6-0 in his starts. ERA below 2. Trump. I don't know what that last part had to do with anything. But all right. Thank you. Thank you, Tyler. What up, the Friar? Can we talk Russ to the Nugs? Yes, we'll talk about that. Russell Westbrook traded to the Utah Jazz again. Will be bought out and expected to sign with the Denver Nuggets. Of course, probably the most iconic game of Russ's career coming in Denver. What was his stat line in that game? The 2020 game with the buzzer beater that secured him averaging a triple-double. And now he is playing for the Denver Nuggets to help with their bench. I do kind of like it. I do like it. I still think the Denver Nuggets had a bad offseason. I still think the Denver Nuggets got worse as a basketball team. I still think the Denver Nuggets are in a very, very peculiar situation. Do you remember what Russ looked like against the Navs? Yeah, not good. But I do like the fact that he can bring some energy off the bench. Somebody could kind of run things for the Nuggets off the bench. You know, we'll see. I kind of liked it. I kind of liked the fit, but we'll see. What current NBA player would you put as the presidential candidate to replace Joe? Draymond. Need someone who's not afraid to get dirty. Need someone who's going to do what needs to be done no matter what. CJ, no, you can't do anybody who's currently on the Players Union or associated with it because they got fucked. Oh my God. Holy shit. Those are incredible. Ew, no. I'm not good enough to get Kobe's. I mean, that's if you're spending that much money to get Kobe's, you got to be good. I feel like if I dropped like $1,000 on a pair of Kobe's, it would just be embarrassing, you know? All right, let's look at these. Oh, the Luka 3s came out. They are available for purchase. I feel like I'll probably get them at some point. Maybe I have 2 pair of Luka 1s. I do have a pair of Luka 2s. So I feel like I should get a pair of Luka 3s. I just have to be brutally honest with you, though. I'm not a fan. I think the Luka 1s, I saw some people say that Luka doesn't have good shoes. I disagree. The Luka 1s are great. They look good. They feel good. They perform well. The Luka 2s were ambitious. Didn't quite. I still don't know how I feel about them. If you go play basketball anywhere in Dallas, a bunch of people wear them. I would say they're the most worn shoe I see usually. I've heard the Kai 1s are incredible. I've actually heard that. Oh, the AE lows come out tomorrow. Oh man, I'm not sure. It's the 77 on the side. Looks so sketchy to me. Please talk about Tatum. I mean, the Tatums look better than this for sure. I think they almost look like a golf shoe. I think a different colorway could work. I really dislike this colorway. Are there other options? Are there other options? Luca threes. Okay, you got these. Are these the only colors? No way. I've heard good things about the books, actually, which is surprising to me. The Sabrina 2s, I have a pair of Sabrina 1s. I mean, they look good. The Sabrina 1s are better, though. I feel like Nike's just shitting on Jordan. I think these new LeBrons look so sick. I just feel like Nike's shitting all over. You have the cuts. I just feel like they're shitting all over him right now. Shitting all over Jordan. The Sabrinas. Ooh, these look good. You want to see Sabrina 2s? Look at my tweet. Did you get some? Oh, those look good. Nice. Those look good. Do people really wear $250 shoes casually? No comment. Which ones are $250? I mean, Nike's done a pretty good job of like making their shoes more available. And Jordan, like you can get dunks at Academy now. Ew. My God, Zion's. This should be 91% off. Disgusting. I do have some dunks, yes. All right. All right, let's get down to business. I'm out on these Luka this colorway. Let's look at some of these over-unders. Google Hibet Luka 3s. I just saw a plain black and white one of the Luka 3s, and they didn't look terrible. Access to this page has been denied. Okay. Weird. The Midnight Racer ones, I just don't know, man. I don't know. I'll need to see more colors. All right, let's look at all of these. These are early win total predictions by ESPN Bet for this upcoming season. I bet Luka 3, Google it, bro. I did Google it. It wouldn't let me click on the link. Access to this page has been denied. What the fuck? We're going to look at all of these. I want you guys to just chime in. We're going to go quick little, boom. I wish these were sorted better. They're going alphabetical order. That's fine. Quick little over-unders. You guys chime in. Over-unders. Let me pull up last year's standings. That way I just have a frame of reference here. Atlanta Hawks at 35.5. Good God. I mean, my brain's telling me higher. They won 41 last year, traded DeJounte Murray. Under? Dude, 35? Wait, no, I'm sorry. I look at the wrong thing. They won 36 last year. Okay, maybe they are under. Maybe they are under. They lost to Dejounte Murray. They didn't really make improvements to their roster. I would not bet on this. My gut tells me over, though. Brooklyn Nets at 19.5. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be brutal. Like, 19.5 is so low. So low. But I genuinely struggle to see how the fuck they're going to win 20 games. Honestly, I can't even figure out how they win 20 games. No, I think I'd go under comfortably. I think we could be potentially looking at some historically bad team here. Here the Pistons won 14 games last year. The Wizards won 15. I honest to God struggle to see how they get to 20. I mean, they won 32 last year though, but Celtics at 58. I mean, they won 64 last year. I kind of struggle to see how they don't win 60 again unless they have injuries or they just really don't give a fuck. I struggle to see how they don't hit 60 again. I know they don't have KP for a while. And here's another thing to remember about the Nets is they'll trade their good players by the deadline. I think Celtics go over. Hornets at 29.5. You guys know me. I'm hammering that. I'm hammering that over. I might even look at some sneaky playoff futures. You know, what's it looking like? Can we get in early on that one? How is the Tour de France still fucking going? The Hornets quietly got better this offseason. And then LaMelo Ball will be back. Mark Williams was hurt last year. They got Josh Green, of course. He's got NBA Finals experience. They got Grant Williams and Josh Green, who both have NBA Finals experience. Think about that. Bulls at 30. How many did they win last year? 39? Ugh. I feel like that's just about right. I wouldn't feel comfortable betting either way on that one. Under. Bulls under so easily. Really? Easily? I mean, the Jazz last year won 31 games. The Grizzlies, who were terrible last year, won 27. There's going to be a ton of tankers. Somebody's got to be in that uncomfortable 30-plus win range where they're like 34 wins. If I had to pick, I think I'd go Bulls over just a tiny bit, but I wouldn't feel comfortable. Cavs at 47.5. They won 48 last year. I can't imagine they go lower than that. I do think over. Peace out, Shrimp. I do think over. But then I do feel like the top outside of the Celtics of the East got better. So it might be a little bit more difficult for these teams. So 47.5 might be around perfect. I do think I'd go over, though. All right, Mavs at 50. That's where they got 50 wins last year, obviously. They had a huge second half of the season, made the NBA Finals. I think they hit the over here pretty comfortably. Pretty comfortably. But yes, that's a good point. Kyrie's health. Let's not forget, Kyrie missed 20-plus games last year. Kyrie's health, Luka's health, obviously. But if those two are healthy for a majority of the season, I mean, they'll miss time. But if those two are healthy for a majority of the season, I feel pretty confident that the Mavs will be in a 55 win range, aiming for the 1 seed. I think that that's very much possible. I've been thinking about it more Because I think I've been like, yeah, Timberwolves might be ahead of the Mavs. I'm okay with that. I've been thinking about it more, and I'm like, wait, why? Why exactly? Why exactly am I like just conceding that? We know this team's a second half merchant, though. I hope that they're just good year round. I don't want to do another for the first 3 months of the season. We're like, what the fuck is wrong with this team? They suck. So let's be hopeful here that the Mavs hit the over here. So the Nuggets, so Vegas thinks the Nuggets got significantly worse. I mean, they won 57 games last year and they're at 52. Like that's a 5-game drop is pretty significant. Not sure why Denver is 2.5 games better than Dallas, but whatever. You have to remember, this isn't Vegas. This is Vegas just going off of what they think people will bet. The Nuggets one is hard. They're not going to be bad. I feel like their ceiling has been touched, and it's gone down. But I don't think that they're bad. Nuggets 47. Wow. I mean, that would have them in the play-in pretty much. Or right around the play-in. I would not touch this one. I would maybe go under, actually, if I were to pick one. Pistons at 24. It never ends, does it? It never ends. Now, that's a 10-win improvement from where they were a season ago. That's a huge leap. I actually don't know. Oh, man. It's a hard sell to tank yet again. But, I mean, especially if you're the Pistons, who have been the bottom of the NBA for so long now. That it's a hard sell that we're going to bottom out again. But yeah, I feel like you've done it. You've gone this far with the tanking. You've got to go for Cooper Flat. You just have to. You owe it to yourself. But if Kate's healthy, they'll definitely be better. I wouldn't touch 24.5, honestly. I feel like that's around right. That would still have them in the tanking race. Warriors at 42.5. Last year they won 46 games. I struggle to see how they get lower than 42, to be honest with you. I would pretty comfortably bet over. Under, I would feel pretty good about the over here. I know the West is hard. And that's where I'm at, Bruno. I don't know how much better they got, but I do think that they're better than they were last year, and they won 6 more games than this. So unless you're like assuming Steph is going to either slam into a wall age-wise or be hurt, I don't know how they don't get over 42.5. And if you were to bet on this right now and then they traded for Lauri Markkanen, then you're it. Pods and Trace Jackson Davis development as well. Yeah, true. Rockets at 42.5 as well. Ooh. 41 wins last year for the Rockets. Do you think that they improved by 1 or 2 games? This one's actually hard to me. I really don't know how I feel about the Rockets. It's funny because I do follow a lot of Rockets accounts on Twitter. They're all confident they're going to win 50-plus games. And then I started to come to the conclusion, every team in the fucking West thinks they're winning 50 games. It's not going to be everyone. I feel like they have too many guys. Like it's going to get awkward at some point. I feel like 42 is about right. I think they're about 500 again next year. Fighting for the play-in. I feel like that's just kind of where they're at. All right, so Indiana at 46.5. They won 47 last year. I think that they go over this. I think they push 50 wins. Oh my God, they have the Clippers at 40. Wow. They think the Clippers are going to suck. Siakam made a big difference, and that happened at the deadline. Yeah, they're sort of similar to the Mavs in a way. They can't have two main playmakers. The Rockets are just in a weird spot because it feels like all of their young guys, in theory, probably need the ball in their hands a lot, but like none of them have done enough to where you feel like you're confident in it, if that makes sense. Like the idea of Amin Thompson is that he'll be like a point forward for you almost. Şengün is he can be your offensive hub as a big. Jalen Green is like, oh, he can be this explosive scoring two guard. Well, you run into a problem because all those guys need the ball in their hands, but none of them have been good enough besides maybe Şengün. Wow, so the Clippers at 40. Damn. That would have them as 12th in the West last year. Well, I honest to God struggle to see how they don't go over 500. They got a really good head coach. They still have a good roster. But I guess if Kawhi misses a good amount of time, they might be terrible. But man, under 500 feels insane to me. Lakers at 44.5. They won 47 last year. I feel like this is just about right for the Lakers. I wouldn't want to touch this one. I do think that they're better than the Clippers. I think they're better than the Warriors, which is reflected in their win total being higher than them. But if LeBron or AD miss time, that's a team that'll be fucked. I wouldn't touch that one. Grizzlies at 47.5. So where do they have them in the West that we've seen so far? That has them about what, 5th or 6th? So I do think the Grizzlies will be really good next year. I think they're starting to become a tad bit overrated, though. I think they're starting to become a tad bit overrated. Edie is going to have some big injury problems, man. He can't stay fucking healthy. He's been hurt twice already in Summer League. Is that not concerning? They're just built for the regular season. That is true. And I think there's going to be some... I think there's going to be some real fight from them to be like really good in the regular season to prove that they're back. I know he never got injured in college. I know. Yeah, Steven Adams was a big part of their team. I mean, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Zach Edey early. They're a tough one. I feel like 47.5 is just about right. Just about right. That would have had them in the play-in last year. Maybe they're a little bit over. Heat at 44. I'm actually kind of leaning towards the under there, to be honest with you. Yeah, they feel like a fall off is incoming for me. And maybe Jimmy's gone by the deadline or something. Bucks at 50, this feels like an easy over. Like this feels like an easy over to me. They despite like their weird season last year, they won 49 games. And I think they're better as a roster. I think that's an easy over. Easy. Edey wasn't injury prone in college. They were all freak accidents. No, I know, but I got to look at that. They had a weird ass season last year and won 49 games. Timberwolves at 52. That's high. They won 56 last year. Under. Over. 52 is tough. I don't know if I would touch that. Yeah, a push around 52 feels right. So could you please explain why everyone is high on the Timberwolves over us? Well, they won 56 games last year. You expect Anthony Edwards will get better. People love the Rob Dillingham pick, even though I don't know how much he's going to actually contribute right away. You're really banking on Ant just getting better. I mean, they have them 4 games worse, and they're over under than they were last year. So this is about what I would think for them. 45.5 for the Pelicans. I wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole. Who the fuck knows what their team's even going to look like a month from now? Can't imagine their team remains the same. I can't imagine their roster right now is what it will look like on opening night. I don't know. I would never say over easy on the Pelicans. I don't know. They don't have a center. They do not have a center. And this isn't like, oh, they don't have a good center. They don't have a center on their team. They have, yes, Yves Missy. They're starting a rookie center who they drafted late in the first round in what is considered one of the worst drafts of all time. So I'm worried about that. I wouldn't say under either though, because they could be good. I don't know. I wouldn't touch it. Knicks at 53. Wowzers. They won 50 last year. I mean, talent-wise, they're easily the second best team in the East, I think. I could see it being over, but 53 is a lot. I don't know. That might just be about right. 53 would be comfortably second in the East last year. I guess we have to remember that there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 just absolutely ass, maybe even 6 to 7 absolutely ass Eastern Conference teams. Like genuinely trash Eastern Conference teams. Robinson will get hurt. Yeah, I mean, the Mitchell Robinson stuff is concerning. They need another center. I mean, but they're really good, so I could see it. They had the Mavs at 50.5. Thunder at 55. Wow. I mean, they have them one in the West by 2 full games. Easy over. It's hard for me to say easy over. 55 is a lot of wins. I think that's around right. I would guess over for sure, but I think they'll finish as the 1 seed again. But I wouldn't. I'm not like too confident in it that I would like actually bet on it. Magic at 47.5. That's what they won last year. This feels like an easy over for me. I feel like the Magic could push 50 wins. I could see like a Paolo huge year 3 leap. They got KCP. Franz doesn't shoot 3% from beyond the arc. Feels like they're an easy over here. Sixers all the way up at 52.5. So I would go under. That feels really high to me. That feels really, really high to me. Their team is entirely new, pretty much. I guess not necessarily, but it's just Embiid hurt all the time. Paul George hurt all the time. I struggle. I struggled to get to 52.5 with them, to be honest with you. And I also think that they'll look at it and just kind of We want Embiid healthy. We want Paul George healthy. We owe it to ourselves to be healthy in the playoffs because it feels like we never are. Or Embiid at least never is. So 52.5, which would have them comfortably second in the Eastern Conference last year. I don't know. I struggle. I struggle to get there. Suns at 46. Holy shit. Wow. Good God. 46? Dude, 46 would have them in the 10th seed last year. There's no way. I have to go over there. There's no way. There is no way. That feels like an easy over to me. 46? I mean, I could see a pathway for it to be under, but dude, Beal, Booker, and KD as a trio are just too talented, I think. Now, I guess there is a world where they're struggling in February, and that shit is toxic as fuck. KD maybe gets traded. I could see that. Portland at 21. Oh, my God. They won 21 last year. They got better. I mean, obviously. Brought in Klingon. Traded for Deni Avdija. Here's the problem, though. There's going to be a lot of losing going on for the Blazers just because the Western Conference is so good that they are going to be the worst team anytime they play a Western Conference team. So 21 to Honey Kamara leap. 21 feels about right to me. I wouldn't touch it. I feel like they're better than that, but they're just going to be at a talent disadvantage every single night. Spurs at 35.5. That's a 13-win improvement. I feel like that's about right. I have no strong feelings one way or the other about this one. I feel like it's about right. See where they had us and we finished 5th? Definitely see a world where Wemby is 30-plus minutes a game and is incredible. And they get to like 40-ish wins and are pushing for a play-in spot. Could definitely see that. 46.5 for the Kings. Look, I don't love their roster. I just don't. I don't love their roster. I still don't love DeMar's fit. I'm happy for Kings fans. They're excited. I don't love the fit. I look at the roster and just leave confused. Where's the defense coming from? The shooting and spacing is just still a little bit strange to me. This feels about right, though. 46.5. I feel like they'll be competing for a playing spot. What was the Mavs record when we missed the playoffs versus last year? They won 50 games last year, 50-32. The year before that, they were 38-44. My God. And let's not forget, when the Kings were the 3 seed, they won 48 games. Like, that was just a very weird year. It wasn't like they won 55 games or anything like that. This feels like about where they are, 46 games. Raptors at 30. Now, my mind immediately is telling me under. They won 25 games last year. My brain immediately goes to under. Because I feel like there might be a tanking incentive by the end of the season for them. But they got Scotty, Emmanuel Quickly. Both those guys got a huge bag. RJ Barrett. Like, they're pretty talented. Utah at 28. I actually feel this is a hammer under. I'm envisioning like 22 to 25 wins for them. And if they trade Markkanen, this they'll be worse than the Blazers if they trade Markkanen. Yeah, this is an easy under to me for Utah. Easy. $31 wins last year. They give up at the deadline every year. I mean, Kendrick Nunn was good for them. They lost him. One touch Jazz until we see what Ainge does with Lowry. That's true. Remember when you and all of us wanted Jarris Walker or Hendricks so badly? Hey. Did I say Kendrick Nunn? Why do I always do that? I literally get them mixed up all of the time. Chris Dunn. Yeah, Collier and Filipowski. Filipowski's look pretty good. This feels like an easy under to me, though. I mean, why not taint this year? Why not? And the Wizards at 22.5. They won 15 games last year. Ugh. I mean, one of these dog shit East teams will win more games than we expected. Just because somebody has to. I feel like it's the Pistons in my mind. That'd be a very Pistons move, I think. Would be, hey, now is the year you actually really want to bottom out because there is a generational talent at the top of the draft in Cooper Flagg. That'd be funny if the Pistons were like, hey, guys, we won 36 games, and now we have the 11th pick. $22.5 for Washington. I wouldn't touch that. I would not touch that. But part of me feels like under, though. Part of me feels like under. Would you trade Lively for Sarr? No. Alex Sarr is going to be a generational bust. It has not looked good so far. I mean, it looks good defensively, but the offense is scary. I'm flying into Dallas for a connection on Monday. Let me know which terminal and seat you go to so I can sit where you sat. Good God. Good Lord. Sarr is a 6'4 shooting guard stuck in a 7'1's body. Yeah, but he can't shoot. Sarr is good defensively. But we've seen you got to be good on offense. And being good defensively by itself is not enough. It's just not enough. It's not enough in today's NBA. You make it too easy for the opposing defense, and you make it too difficult for the rest of your team. We've seen it now. You can't be a zero. Those guys don't exist anymore. Zeros on offense do not play anymore. You got to do something. You got to do something. Which team that missed the playoffs last year do you think has the best chance to make the playoffs this year? You're saying missed entirely. Looking at the Eastern Conference. Bulls, no. Hawks, nah. Nets, no. Raptors, no. Hornets. What? Hey. Wizards, Pistons. I mean, yeah, the easy cop-out answer is the Grizzlies. The easy cop-out answer is the Grizz. But if we don't count them because of the injury stuff, I think I'd actually go Warriors, to be honest with you. I'm telling you, man, I don't have a good feeling about the Kings, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong about them a ton. Hornets are a sneaky one, though. Don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on the Hornets this year. I'm going to be high on them again. One year I'm going to be right. When do you do a full prediction stream? That'll be October. That'll be right before the season starts. Right before the season starts. All right, anything else we wanted to talk about today? We talked about all of the news. We went over the final 25 of this top 100 athletes list. Got it all off of our chest. You are fully asleep on the Hornets. Hey, sleep at your own risk. Sleep at your own risk, buddy. I don't want to get on Fanspo. Fanspo just makes me sad. Like, I don't know what it is. It just makes me depressed. Maybe it's because I just associate it with the trauma of the 2022-2023 season for the Mavericks. That, yeah. Canada versus France. Is that going on right now? Don't the Mavs play again today? I honestly don't really want to watch. To be honest with you, would you trade Omax for a high 2025 second rounder? I'd think about it at the draft next year if he doesn't do anything this year. Do the Mavs play today? Do the Mavs get a Christmas game? Yes, for sure. They've gotten a Christmas game each of the last 2 years, right? Maybe even 3 years. And they just went to the NBA Finals. So it'd be a little bit surprising if they don't get a Christmas Day game. Mavs Thunder on Christmas. That would be fun. They could do the cop-out Mavs Celtics. The series wasn't good enough, though, I don't think. You could go Mavs Timberwolves. They could just go back to the Mavs Suns but Warriors Mavs could be good. Well, I think the Mavs deserve a home Christmas game, to be honest with you, after making the finals. But if it is like Clay's return to Golden State on Christmas Day, that would actually be fucking crazy. Mavs Thunder in Dallas feels like a good one. That feels like a good one. It's a rematch of what was probably one of the more competitive and best series that we got last year. There's kind of maybe a rivalry in terms of location. Like that could be a good one. Mavs versus Golden State opening night. See that. Again, I feel like Dallas deserves an opening night home game. Oh my God, I forgot we got Clay. Not me. Clay video tomorrow. It was supposed to come out today or yesterday. I didn't have internet all day. So now it's tomorrow. The Clay video. So were you an SID in college? What the fuck is that? Standard idiot test? What's that mean? Sports information director? Is that what that means? No. I feel like that's not what it means. What does SID mean? Am I missing something? Student identification number? Who's more likely to take a step back, Luka or Shea? I feel like neither of those guys are going to take a step back. What did you major in, though? Communications. Bloomberg says the outage will go down as the most spectacular IT failure the world's ever seen. Just let me get on my plane tomorrow with no problems. That's all I ask. And land. I feel like you have to say that. Getting on the plane and land safely at the airport I'm supposed to land at with no problems. Sports information director, they set up interviews and do all the social media for the sports teams. No. I in college is when I realized I'm a creator and I don't like answering to people. I have to do this on my own. Airplanes don't run Windows, so you should be fine. I'm more so concerned about getting into the airport and not being there for fucking 7 hours. Like that's my. I don't care about being on the plane and landing. Like I'm fine with that. But so you should have visited Spain in your Europe trip. I do want to go to Spain. I really didn't have much say in where we were going. I went with a group of friends and I was along for the ride basically. And I also went with like a large group who had not gone to Europe before or hadn't gone to most places we went to. So I mean that was my 4th time in London. That was my 4th time in London, my 2nd time in Amsterdam. Going to Cape Cod. So I'll be in Boston. London's so great. It's the greatest city in the world, I think. You ever go on vacation somewhere nice and local? What do you mean? I mean, I have family in London, so one of the trips to London, we did go to like the English countryside for a week. Not very touristy. Austin, number 1. I fucking don't like Austin. I'm just going to say it. I really don't like it. I think it's incredibly overhyped and overrated. Just incredible. I feel like the older you get, the more it's like, well, Austin, why? Like the more you're out of your party stage, Austin, what does it do for me? It's crowded. It's small as shit. Traffic is terrible. There's no phone service. Are you aware of this? This phone service is so bad in Austin because it's so overcrowded. I'm just not that big of a fan. I mean, I like it. I have fine there, but it's whatever. It's better than Houston and San Antonio for sure. The more time I spend in Texas, just don't think that we're supposed to have like gigantic cities in this state. It's so hot. It is just so mind-numbingly hot for most of the year. It just doesn't feel like we were supposed to put gigantic, sprawling metroplexes in this state. It just doesn't make sense. Every American city I've ever been to has no distinguishable feature. It depends on where you go. I do agree. When you're in Texas, like there's not much that separates like Dallas from Houston in terms of like the architecture and stuff. Oh, 7-lane superhighways? Yes, both cities have that. Horrible traffic? Both cities have that. It's 120 degrees? Both cities have that. It smells like shit? That's Houston. The East Coast, though, like the older cities, there is some distinguishable stuff, I would say. San Antonio is kind of unique. I guess there's some, like Fort Worth kind of has its own sort of flair. How do you have traffic with 7-lane highways? I don't think people realize how many fucking people live in Dallas. I mean, Dallas' skyline is beautiful. It is. It's a very beautiful skyline. And I feel like it is pretty recognizable with the Reunion Tower, the Chase Bank building. Yes, I have a driver's license. You're going to play college football 25? I already have been playing it. Too much, actually. I need to stop. I have shit I need to do. So, would you faint if Tatum dapped you up? No. Wow. I mean, we really have this little to talk about. It's not about the number of people. It's about density. Yeah. It's just Dallas is like big though. It's big, but there's just traffic everywhere. Sully, do you actually listen to Bill Simmons or do you like to riff on it? No, I love Bill Simmons, genuinely. I think he's the best podcaster I listen to. He's not as good as he used to be, you know, but I do genuinely like his podcast. He's good at it. He's genuinely very good at it. Talk about Melvin Aginsa. Haven't seen much from him, to be honest with you. That makes me all that convinced he'll be an NBA player. Just how I feel. Legler's great too. Legler's obviously a king. There's a lot of good ones, man. There's a lot of good ones. I like Nikias Duncan and Steve Jones. The Dunker Spot's a good one. It's definitely on the nerdier side in terms of just like basketball podcasts, but it's good. I like that one. I like the Dunker Spot. I used to listen to Through the Wire. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't checked out the numbers on the board one yet. I will eventually. Dunker Spot's openly anti-Luka. No, I would not say that. Honestly, didn't listen to Old Man in the Three that much. The spider tattoo is real. Yes, that's a real tattoo. Am I delusional for convincing myself Melvin has prime hard and ceiling? No. Yeah, smaller channels do better. They don't try to cover every league and every team. Yeah, I mean, it's impossible to watch. It's impossible. The multi-sports ones, there's just no way you have enough time. No way. You could do, I think, NBA. And I think there's some real value to that. There's some real value in an NBA-centric person watching your team and watching them closely and giving you an outside perspective of it. There's some real value to that. Hoop Collective is fun to listen. I agree. I think Hoop Collective is fun. I don't listen to every Hoop Collective podcast. That's more so I will listen to every Bill Simmons podcast. I will listen to most Dunker Spot podcasts. Will not listen to every Russello podcast. Will not listen to every Hoop Collective. Will not listen to every... pick a side, I'll listen to every now and then. Again, don't listen to every single one. It just depends. It depends. Won't listen to every low post. Five Christmas matchups for this season. All right, let's try to predict what the Christmas matchups will be. Obviously, there's going to be a Lakers game. Oh, wait. I saw a tweet yesterday that I agreed with so heavily. Do you listen to other Mavs content creators? So here's the thing. And I'm just going to be really honest. No, not really. The reason being, I already spend so much time watching and talking about the Mavericks that I don't really need my entire Twitter timeline pretty much is Mavs. I don't really need much more. But that's also only because I'm like a big NBA fan. So I'd rather spend my limited time listening to like more NBA centric ones. That way I know what else is going on. Bill's anti-Mavs thing, the whole postseason was so annoying, though. Yeah, I agreed. And that's why when we get to the offseason and stuff, I usually try to talk about shit other than the Mavs because I tweeted out, what are we going to talk about today? And there was a lot of replies like, who's going to take the 15th roster spot for the Mavs? I don't want to talk about that shit. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to talk about it. I don't really care. I just don't. Like, I don't want to. Talk about it. All right, this tweet right here is so real. It is so real. It's something I've been talking about. If it's Tyus Jones, that's different. It's not going to be. It's going to be like Markieff Morris. Once I found out that Markieff Morris technically doesn't have a roster spot, then there's no point in even discussing it. It's Markieff. All City is good. I don't listen to it every episode though, but it is good. It would be crazy if it was Tyus Jones. That'd be nice. That'd be really good. All right. 2010 Sunday Night Football intros.
Kick it up a notch tonight because look, Marshawn, who along with Russell Wilson, with Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco.
This is what the NBA is so bad at. It is so bad at it. It's so good. This isn't in NFL content. I'm using NFL content as a vehicle to shit on the NBA. NBA is so good at generating social interest in the league. It is. It's unlike any other sport. Year round, it is a trending topic. But everything else that the NBA does in terms of presentation is dog shit and horrible and awful and embarrassingly bad, okay? It just is. ESPN's broadcast of NBA games, and especially high-profile NBA games, is embarrassing. It is. It is so bad. I yelled about this. Like, the NBA Finals feels like a normal game now. It really does. All the pageantry is out the door, which is a shame. Because when I went to the game, I was very fortunate this year to go to 2 NBA Finals games, like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And you feel when you're there, you feel it. Like the outside area is jam-packed 2-3 hours before the game. There's a bunch of stands. You got NBA Finals shit everywhere. Like, it feels like you're at an NBA Finals game. Like, it just you feel it in the stadium. Everybody's in their seats a little bit longer. But then you watch it on TV. It's awful. It's awful. Like, it is terrible. There's no pageantry. They spin the pregame show. The pregame show is just another vehicle for Stephen A. Smith to do Stephen A. Smith shit. They try to get a viral moment on their pregame shows. We'll talk about the Lakers. Stephen A. Smith say something insane about LeBron James. Let's get viral real quick. And then the game starts. You go from that to the game starting. There's no like, we're gonna keep it here for player introductions. There's none of that. The game just starts. There's YouTube TV ads all over the court. There's really no NBA Finals presentation anywhere on the court. It's not how it should be, man. It should feel like you're watching. Like, this is an event. This is an event. Not just for the NBA Finals game, but all the playoff games. It should feel like it's an event. It just feels like a normal ass game. And maybe that's what they're trying to do. Like, maybe that's what they're trying to do. Maybe the NBA is saying, look, the games aren't the most important thing for us, actually. It's being a year-long topic. It's being kind of the soap opera league of the major professional sports. It's having people care about the players, the superstars. It's just not, we don't really care much about the games itself. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe it is. And for ESPN, it is. For ESPN, it's, hey, you guys are going to watch this shit anyways. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, basically doing a podcast episode saying insane shit. So tomorrow, I can't believe Stephen A. Smith said this at halftime of the fucking NBA Finals. Tune in to First Take tomorrow to hear Stephen A. Smith defend it. No, how about you go fuck yourself? Okay? How about collectively ESPN as a group, as a unit, as a company, go to the top and jump off. We're done with you. It's just makes me angry, man. It makes me angry. And they don't know. They don't, like, understand. I like JJ Redick, but as time went on, I realized he was a disaster as a commentator, as a live game commentator, because he would just be saying, like, pretty elaborate NBA terms. You had to play basketball or really follow the NBA to know some of the terms he was saying. And it's like, dude, you realize who's watching this. Like, nice ghost screen there. Yeah, they're running. Here comes the horn set. Here, like, he's like, and it's just, whoa, okay. Wendy's rant on Luka was so unclassy. All right, so I agree that was excessive. But that to me works in the sense that it felt like, hey, we're talking about the NBA Finals here. Like, this is big. This is a big deal. Like, we want to emphasize how important this is, how unacceptable certain things are. Like, we want to highlight that. That's okay with me. Because that like leaves you feeling, all right, this is a different stage. Dude, to be fair, games in the NBA are like after 2 to 3 days, you have a week to prep for a football game. No, I agree, but the presentation for the games needs to and should be better. Mark Jones is fine. I don't mind Mark Jones. I still think him and Dorsey together is awful. The reason why I don't mind the Windy thing, obviously I disagreed with him. I don't agree with anything he said. I disagree with him, very much so. But I don't mind it from a content perspective because it would leave the viewer saying, okay, you have to watch the next game to see how Luka responds. Like, it helps the narrative of the series. It doesn't push, tune in to First Take tomorrow, which is like how it feels like the Stephen A. Smith halftime shows are. Tune in to First Take tomorrow. No! Fuck you! We don't want to! They got to get ESPN out. They do. Like, if Silver really cares about the presentation of his league, you have to give an ultimatum to ESPN. They're obviously going to outbid anybody. They got Disney money. They're going to be a huge broadcast partner forever. But there's got to be some pressure put on them, man. There's got to be some pressure. You got to be better than this. Too many games make them not special. I agree. The regular season is never, ever, ever going to live up to this. The reason why is Sunday Night Football feels big is it is big. It's going to be the most watched thing of the week. And it's like, this is the Seattle Seahawks versus 49ers. This is a big division rivalry game. Like, this game is very important. Whereas, yes, a Wednesday night Mavericks versus Nuggets game, yeah, in theory should be fun, but, you know, if it's in the middle of February, like... But in a playoff game, the playoff game should feel special. It should feel special. It should feel different. It shouldn't start with Stephen A. Smith pregame show, Woj just coming on to talk nonsense. Here's the latest Lakers news. Then Stephen A. Smith rants for 4.5 minutes, and all 8 other people on the panel get 10 seconds to get their takes in. That's fucking awful, and it's horrible, and it's nonsensical. It's bullshit. We don't want it. How about this? Maybe you have in-stadium reporters who are on the concourse. Give us a feel of the fans, the energy in the building. Maybe give us, hey, here's like a mini movie. What? They don't do those anymore. You know what I'm talking about? Like the mini movies that they used to do pregame, where it'd be like dun 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 last game dun 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 the Celtics won, and then it'd be highlights, and it's like, oh shit, here we go. No, they don't do that anymore. Yeah, it was like, here's Adrian Wojnarowski, the most boring man in existence. Adrian Wojnarowski. Well, we're hearing that Dan Hurley might want to go to the. We're hearing that Dan Hurley might want to go to the Lakers. Stephen A. Smith. This is preposterous. I can't believe Dan Hurley wanted to go there. Michael Wilbon. Why is it so crazy? All right, guys. Oh, the game's on. Game 3 of the NBA Finals just tipped off. What the fuck are we doing? Like, good God. Have some shame. And this isn't just an ESPN thing. Everyone does this. All right, fourth quarter, it's a tight game. It's a playoff game where everyone's nerves are through the roof. It's a 4-point game. Fourth quarter just started. First minute. First 60 seconds. The game is in a tiny little box up to the right-hand side. This entire part of the screen is an interview. Hey, coach, what happened in the third quarter? Yeah, we got to play better defense, and offensively, we got to keep putting the ball in the basket. Coach, you're losing the rebounding battle by 5. What adjustments do you need to make? Yeah, we need to box out better. We need to find a guy, put a body on him. Coach, this player's been having a great game. What have you seen differently compared to last game? Yeah, he's getting his shots, and he's getting them, and they're just falling. So you just got to keep shooting and hope that they fall. All right, thanks, Coach. Thanks. You just missed 5 plays. You just missed 5 key plays in a playoff game. ESPN, you're trash. It makes me so angry. It really does anger me because it needs to be better. It should be better. As a content-minded person, it has to be better. It does. If you care about your sport, I get you sacrifice some advertising dollars here and there. Make the interest of your league higher, okay? All right? Mic ups are fine. I think mic'd up segments are stupid as fuck as well. Because here's the thing. Do them at commercial breaks. They do them in the middle of games. So again, the mic'd up segment will be right here. Boom. Live game happening right here. Playoff game. We care. We care about every single play. I want to see every single play that happens. I want a big screen right in front of me. Every play matters. What we got mic'd up? Hey! Good shot, boy. That's a great shot. Hey, Tony, he's fouling me. He's grabbing me from behind. Yay! Hey, good shot. Hey, we got to keep playing defense, boys. 3 plays have just happened that you missed right here. It's the worst shit in the world. It just makes me angry, man. It really does. I care about this shit. Probably more than I should. Is Skip Bayless leaving? Is that true? Is this true about Skip Bayless? Fired? Wait, what? Skip Bayless reportedly leaving Fox Sports 1 undisputed. What are they gonna do? Who's watching what there? Is Nick Wright gonna be the face of their stuff? Been watching House of the Dragon. I haven't watched the last episode, so don't spoil anything. Nick Wright is pretty good, actually. Paul Pierce. Oh my god. Oh my god. Spoiler alert for House of the Dragons. They are dragons. They do stuff. Ban him forever. NFL does a great job of hyping up the pressure during dull moments, too. Commentators talk about the importance of the next drive during boring moments like kickoffs. In the NBA, they just cut to a commercial. Well, to be fair, the NFL is a commercial fest. Like, it is. It is probably genuinely... There actually might be... There might be some numbers on this. I would be willing to guess over half of the time you're watching a football game, it is in commercial. Probably half the time. What percentage of an NFL game is commercials? Let's see. 25%? That's a lie. That's absolutely a lie. There's no way that's true. There's simply no way. There's no way that's correct. And you know what's crazy is you watch football, you watch soccer. Man, there's something to it, man. I get it. I do understand the hype. I want to get more locked in because you watch it and you feel that it's tense, and you know there's not going to be a stoppage. You know that in a huge key moment, they're not going to cut the fucking timeout for 5 minutes, and commercial breaks for 5 minutes. Whopper, like huge moment. Oh my God, we're down 3. We're down 2 with 10 seconds left. What's going to happen? The season's on the line. No flags. Whopper. Were you injured in a car wreck? Call 1-800. It's just like, dude, it really kind of sucks it out. It does. DL, welcome to Slightly Delusional Club. Yes, college football is absolutely the worst. College basketball is really bad too. Games ending in ties, so ridiculous. Same thing with baseball. Now, I don't remember who it was. It was Turner. It was TBS. I don't remember if this was last year or the year before. I was watching a wild card game, I think it was. I think the Dodgers were in it. Chris Taylor hit a walk-off home run. So somebody tell me what year that was. They were in extra innings. And between innings, during one of the extra innings, they did not cut to a commercial. They stayed in the stadium. They showed a pitcher walking out. They did camera shots on the crowd. They're all tense. They're all holding their head in their hands. It felt unreal. You could feel it. Like, I didn't give a fuck about who won the game, but damn, you felt the tension. It was wow. It was like, wow, this is how you do it right here. This is so good. Can you imagine, like, NBA, boom, 30-second timeout. All right, actually take 30 seconds. 30-second timeout. We're not cutting the commercial. We're showing you the huddle. We're showing you the look on the players' faces. We're panning around the crowd. The crowd's like this. They're nervous. You would feel good. You would feel better. Instead, it's timeout. All right, we'll be back after the 7-minute commercial break. Baseball and NBA actually have similar problems, I think. I went to a Rangers game recently, and half the people weren't paying attention. Each individual play doesn't impact as much as the NFL. That's how baseball in person's always been, though. It's always been more of a casual, especially in the regular season, more of a casual, you go there to eat. I mean, there's a reason why every stadium does insane food thing. You go there to eat food, you get some drinks. Like, you're not like paying super close attention to every single pitch. You know, there's going to be, 200-300 pitches over the course of a game. Kind of the same thing for the NBA. Yeah, there's so many plays. NFL, you have, like, just a set number of plays. Like, there's only, 100 plays total over the course of a game. It's not, like, there's a play, then there's a break, a small break usually. NBA's just boom, 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 boom. Yeah, you can't really compare it to American 17 games to 17 games. Now, I will say, I've long stated this, and it's a belief I still have, that the reason NFL is such a ratings monster is the fact that it's an institution. Is there a way I can watch this? Ronnie Turioff is commentating this France-Canada game. Is there a way to watch this? Is this viewable somewhere? No, football is garbage in person. It is. The NFL, I've been to every major sporting event, a game for every single major sporting event. I've been to a football game, a soccer game, even. NBA YouTube? Okay. The NFL is by far the worst in-person experience there is. I don't think it's close at all. By far the worst. It's hard to see what's going on. There is so much downtime. So much time where nothing's happening. No, I think baseball's more of a vibe. Baseball is more of a vibe.
When's the last time I used?
Hockey is good. Hockey is great in person. Hockey is incredible in person. And I do think basketball is really good in person. Especially if you care about it, you really appreciate what you're watching. When you go to a basketball game, and if you get the chance at any point to sit close, it changes everything. It changes. You see how fucking big these guys. You don't really realize. I'll never forget. I went to Fan Jam. Was like 3 rows up. I saw Luka. Luka is so massive. It doesn't actually make sense. The skill and everything is just like, wow. Baseball is no pageantry. I could have had the same experience at a bar. I will say, playoff baseball feels much different in person. There is some pageantry there. They got like ribbons hanging up. They got like playoffs painted on the field. Oh, so here's saying, why is the NFL such a ratings monster? I've said that for years, and then you got distracted. I need ADHD medication. It's an institution. It's an institution. That's why it's such a ratings monster. When Sunday comes around in October, you know what you're fucking doing every Sunday. Those are your plans. You know you're throwing that on the TV. You might meet up with some friends. You might get a little spread. Maybe make some buffalo chicken dip. You're going to check your fantasy team. I mean, I know people who don't know the first thing about sports. They have a fantasy football team because that's what you do. It's an institution. Some people just throw it on and fall asleep because it doesn't add up to me. I look deeper. I look at like the social media engagement, and it does not add up to me. How social media engagement for American football can be like down here, but the ratings are like up there. Something just doesn't align. It's an institution. Everyone watches it. You know what the fuck you're going to be doing. Slow pitch softball, absolute vibe. That's the beauty of slow pitch softball. It is an absolute vibe. Gen Z doesn't give a fuck about football. I don't know. I don't agree with that. Gen Z doesn't care about baseball. That should concern them greatly. Because you do want to appeal to Gen Z. But baseball's so regional, though. If your local team's good, you're going to care more. I will say that the Rangers thing just doesn't make sense to me. They won. I mean, this is a big time sports town, people. A big time sports town. And man, it just doesn't feel like the Rangers winning the World Series does not feel like it's had a lasting effect. I don't know if you guys agree who live in the Metroplex. Maybe it is just me. I mean, most of the people I hang out with a lot are huge basketball fans. Huge basketball fans. So maybe that's what it is. It is because they have been bad. I think it's because their team was like bought, to be honest with you. It's because they were in Arlington. See, I feel like, and maybe this is because I was just younger and was more into baseball at the time, but when the Rangers went to the World Series in 2010, 2011, it felt like the hype was through the roof in the city. And I think that was because everyone on that team had sort of been with the team for a long time. Like, we had sort of watched that team grow. And last year's team was just like, oh, this guy was a free agent that we brought in this year. This guy was a free agent a year or two ago. Rangers won the World Series last year. They are the defending champions. A lot of Astros fans now are Rangers fans back then. Well, you're always going to have guys that you traded for, like Cliff Lee. But you had like Ian Kinsler, been on the team forever. Michael Young was on the team forever. Nelson Cruz was on the team for a long time. Josh Hamilton was on the team for a bit. Fans don't give a fuck about that. Let's be real. No, I think they do. I think there's something to that's why Dirk is such a legend in the city. We watched his whole ass career. Like, we were there through the highs and the lows. Yeah, nostalgia does play a big factor. And yes, they went from being shit to really good very quickly. Is Frank Ntilikina wearing Edwards? Is he wearing AEs? All right, Frank. Rangers peaked in 99 with A-Rod, Rudge, Palmeiro, Juan Gonzalez. No, I think they peaked when they won the World Series. I think they didn't even win. Dude, you know what's crazy about the Rangers? 2010, when they made the World Series, that was the first time they won a fucking playoff game, I think. Or maybe it was it the first time they won a playoff game or the first time they won a playoff series? I can't remember. Series, yeah. Can you not watch this game on stream? I don't know. I was just thinking that. I was just wondering that. They had won games versus the Yankees in the late 90s. Okay. MLS will take over in like a year or two. Dude, people have been saying that for so long. Never going to happen, man. People here don't care. I don't think soccer will ever have a moment in the United States. I guess never say never, but people genuinely do not care here. This happens all the time. Anytime, Team USA did this in the World Cup, this is the year. America will be in on soccer. Never happens, ever. Ever. Soccer's been the sport of the future in the USA since the 1950s. Yes, it has been forever. Maybe you can make the argument that, okay, the next World Cup is in the United States, so maybe, just maybe, this will be the time. It's not. It's never going to be the time. It also doesn't help. Team USA is trash. They're fucking terrible, and they're an embarrassment every year. London Hoops with the 199. Going to the American game in London with no American Mavs guys playing. Ooh, which one are you going to? Don't they have 2 games in London? That would have been sick. I wish they were there whenever I was there. America will never care about a sport that is played well outside the USA. Their ego would crumble. No, if USA became like good at soccer, I mean like consistently good, I think you could get people there, but it's hard. It's hard to reach that point. Because, yeah, I mean, kids, everyone grows up playing soccer. Everyone. I mean, I was on a soccer team when I was young. But once you get to 12 years old, if you're a good athlete, those other sports come knocking quickly. And that's that. I went to a massive high school. I mean, a huge high school. And I don't think we had an official soccer team. It was just a club soccer team. I think that's a big thing too. I mean, you beat a powerhouse in Cricket World Cup and nobody cared. There is genuinely no way cricket would ever become a thing here. Genuinely no way. And I have my reasons why that I won't share on here. Just in terms of how the American brain works more often than not. Funny thing is, I think America could dominate. Like, imagine Tyreek Hill, but growing up playing soccer 24/7. Yeah, I mean, maybe. You guys beat Pakistan and they were literally one of the best. That happened in Grand Prairie, dude. That happened down the fucking street. Cricket won't work because it's too difficult to understand for just a normal person. The game's very long. And I do think America, by and large, is a fairly racist country. I mean, most countries are. Like, let's just be real. And I do think there's an association with cricket that will turn off a huge chunk of American viewers. That's just the reality. That is just the reality of the situation. Tell me if I'm wrong, but that's how I view it. The average sports watcher is a casual. Yeah, cricket does. I mean, but it's crazy that cricket is such a massive sport in a country with 1 billion people. I mean, just in terms of like popularity and how many people care about cricket, isn't it like the second most popular sport besides soccer? It's up there. Don't think it's a coincidence NFL and NBA are American-made sports and most popular. We're insanely xenophobic. Yes, that's true. It is insane. It is just so crazy to me how America exports a lot of stuff. It just does. Entertainment in the entertainment industry and music and movies and fashion, like so much of what's big in the United States is big globally. But American football just has not, like, no one cares. Nobody gives a shit at all. It's crazy to me. American football has not done it. Basketball popped. Basketball popped. Baseball even. Football too complicated. I also think you need like a huge amount of people to make it work. You know what I mean? You need a huge amount of people to make it happen. In equipment, pads, like. Whereas baseball or basketball, soccer, you pick up a ball. Even rugby, you just pick up a ball. Flag football is in the next Olympics. Yes, that'd be interesting. Who's even playing in that? Are there NFL guys in that? Is that this year or next? Wait, is that this Olympics? You can also run a pickup game of basketball. Yeah, you can run a pickup game of basketball with 4 people. Have you guys thought that Adam Silver rigged the finals for the Celtics owners to be able to sell the team? Dude, they didn't rig any finals, man. The Celtics were far and away the best team in the world this year. The NFL trying so hard in the UK. A team in London would not work. It just wouldn't work. It would not work. All right, I've been yapping for so long. 2 hours and 10 minutes. I remember I looked at the time on the stream and it was 1 hour and 10 minutes whenever I was done with everything I wanted to talk about. Been yapping for an hour. I need to go because I need stuff to do. I have stuff to do. I need to Klay Thompson video tomorrow. I'm hoping to do some other videos as well. I'm about to tweet out actually. Send me some unpopular opinions or hot takes you have about NBA offseason for some videos. That way I can just churn out some content while I'm gone next week. I do want to stream next week because I just don't want to go another week without streaming, but also at the same time, I don't have much to talk about. So we'll see. I'm bringing all of my equipment with me on this trip. So if something crazy happens. But yes, next week are the Olympics. I don't know what I'm going to do yet for that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet for the Olympics because I do kind of want to stream them. I wonder if you can do that on playback. Where does BI go? Swap for Cat? I don't think the Timberwolves would do that. If the Timberwolves lost in the first round or something, maybe. I'm living the dream, baby. You know, I just not realized I haven't seen a lot of Pro-Am clips yet. I guess it's because the Olympics and everyone's doing that. I just saw Luka Garza, 59 points, 20 rebounds at a Pro-Am game. All right, folks. Videos throughout the week. Big Klay Thompson video tomorrow, and then just some random shit next week, and then maybe some streams. I'm not entirely sure yet. Not entirely sure yet. All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for sticking around while I was yapping. All of the OGs, you guys, I love you very much. Could have spent your Friday afternoon anywhere in the world you decided to spend it here. New subscribers, promise you guys not regret it. Donations, members, thank you guys. You never have to do that, but it helps me out tremendously. Makes me feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Have fun. Relax. I mean, do whatever it is you got to do. Do whatever it is you got to do. videos dropping throughout the week, and we'll see about streams. I'm not entirely sure yet. Love you guys. Talk to you all later. Bye.